Washington, D.C.'s mayor has pointed to falling crime stats as proof that Donald Trump's aggressive takeover of the city is unnecessary. Now the Trump Justice Department is investigating if those numbers are manipulated. Two sources tell CNN the U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C. is leading that investigation. In a Truth Social post, he seemed to confirm the report, accusing the city of giving, quote, fake crime numbers in order to create a false illusion of safety. Now, this investigation comes as hundreds of additional National Guard troops flood the streets of D.C., deployed by red state governors, and D.C.'s mayor is pushing back.
It doesn't make sense. The numbers on the ground in the district don't support 1,000 people from other states coming to Washington, D.C. The question is really not for us. It's for why the military would be deployed in an American city to police Americans.
Joining me now to talk about this is Mayor Van Johnson of Savannah, Georgia. He's also president of the African American Mayors Association. Mayor Johnson, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, and good morning.
Now, many people have pointed out that when you look at the cities that Trump has talked about in terms of potentially deploying the National Guard beyond D.C., it's Baltimore, Chicago, Los Angeles, Oakland. We're looking at a lineup of black mayors. So how is the association seeing this? Do you think they're being targeted for their race, or is it just their party?
Well, we say that if it smells like a duck, it looks like a duck, quack, quack. For us, when you look at that, black mayors lead 3 of the 5 largest cities in this nation. When you look at mayors that are perceived to be Democrat, and you look at the fact that many of these cities, including a lot of cities that are led by black mayors across the country, are experiencing historic decreases in violent crime, then we wonder why this, why now?
So D.C.'s mayor's pointed out falling crime rates as well. You heard her talking about that. And so she's talking about this as a federal overreach. Your city, your numbers in 2024 do show a similar downward trend, a 20% drop, particularly in violent crime reports compared to 2023, 7% down for property crime. But are you worried that you could have the federal government intervening or collaborating, supporting as they've offered?
Well, we think that, collaboration is when partners work together. This is not collaboration. This is absolutely overreach. We welcome a partnership from our federal government. For example, the federal government Justice Department has slashed over $1 million from programs that could help cities. I'm sure that our mayors could think of 100 different ways that the federal government can partner with them. But this unilateral overreach to us is unwarranted, it's unnecessary, it's not supported by facts.
But what is your response to this question about the data itself? I mean, in D.C., you've got this issue where a D.C. police commander was actually suspended, was accused of changing crime stats by the police union. It's actually not all that unusual to hear about all kinds of cities because you volunteer this information, this data. So do you hear the criticism about the data itself?
Well, it's always been criticism about the data itself, but I think the issue is this, is that you would mean that mayors, city managers in many cases, police chiefs, police officers would be complicit in being able to work together in some kind of way, some orchestrated attempt to be able to fudge crime statistics. The reality is, we're not going to jail and we're not going to hell. When the crime rates were going up, our cities were the ones admitting that we had an issue. We had to face this every day. We did not have the opportunity to play the rhetoric game. But because the numbers are going down, the fact of the matter is we're not dancing in the end zone, we're continuing to work. And we want our federal government to be a partner with us and work with us as we continue to help our citizens, both locally and federally, to be safe and feel safe.
When I think back to the 90s, there were so many cities where you had black community members talking about the problems of crime. And when people talk about crime and they feel unheard, you have a problem. So how should Democrats be talking about this to people who are saying, look, maybe we think Trump is going too far, but also our city leaders aren't hearing us?
Well, I think it's bigger than a Democratic problem because Mayors Bar Association may be Democrat, they may be Republican, they may be independent. This is an issue of people of goodwill, administrators of goodwill, citizens of goodwill, understanding what data is. The fact is that these numbers come from the Justice Department. We volunteered them when they were bad. We volunteered them now that they're better. And the fact of the matter is, we want our federal government not only to recognize the work that mayors have done in New York, in Baltimore, in Chicago, in LA, in Atlanta, in Savannah, working with communities in very, very creative ways to help drive down the numbers of violent crime and work with us in the ways we need help instead of this kind of throwing fireballs from heaven and expecting for us to be grateful. It's not the best way for us to keep our communities safe.
All right, Mayor Van Johnson of Savannah, Georgia, thank you.
Thank you so much.